I know what you're thinking. Graham, I thought we were done with this freaking bozo, but sadly, we have one more episode of Loren's story with Faith on 90 Day Fiancé. And just when you thought this scumbag could not get worse, well, he goes out and does something terrible, basically trying to, I don't know any other way to say this other than kidnap Faith into a marriage. That's right. If you want to know what the hell I'm talking about right now, make sure you watch until the very end of this one. Drop a like if you haven't already. A like a day keeps the Loren away, as the doctors say, or something like that. And without any further ado, let's get right on into it, shall we? With more of this tell-all session.
He will be under attack. He's just misunderstood. He's not the villain that everyone thinks he is.
And we have more of his friend here, who is just the #1 star defender of this guy. Absolutely just looking past all of the negative things that he does and the negative energy that he brings into the world, and just says, oh yeah, everyone else just doesn't understand Loren. He's kind of a shithead, but once you find out, you know, his true personality, he's actually a pretty cool guy. Like, no, we know his true personality, okay? We've seen a whole season of show with this guy. We know what he's about. We know what he's down to do in order to escape poverty in America. That's literally what this all comes down to. He's trying to destroy Faith's life because he doesn't care about her or anybody else besides himself. So they start things off by trying to get clarity on the whole nightclub thing. Remember when they went out earlier this season and Faith's friends said that he was out here trying to flirt behind her back with somebody else? He claims that it was just some person that he was not interested in, and he was simply being nice by responding to the flirtation.
And I said, sure, you're too young for me, and I'm here to be with my beautiful girlfriend. So I did not flirt with a drag queen.
And even while they're showing this, Loren's face and his body expressions here, they just show that he knows deep down he was in the wrong. I don't know. I feel like he really weaseled his way out of this, saying that he didn't actually cheat and trying to gaslight Faith into thinking, oh, your friends were wrong and you're wrong. I actually don't flirt with anybody else. I just love you. Now let's go get married so I don't have to be homeless. But you can see he's like dreading watching this footage back. So I don't know if that's a very good look for him. Let's hear this little weasel try to get his way out of this once again.
Because I didn't know what she's a drag queen. It actually wasn't a drag queen. I was trying to connect the drag queen aspect because there was a drag queen outside I didn't physically talk to.
You don't understand. She said I was flirting with a drag queen and I wasn't. It was somebody else. So I figured like it didn't count if it was somebody else, but she said drag queen specifically. Like, this guy loves to play semantics with words. That's why he said he was sleeping at a friend's house and then gaslit Faith into thinking that she somehow didn't understand that he meant he was out taking back shots from all of them. Like, literally every time he said he was staying with a friend at their house, he was getting his back blown out. All right. And meanwhile, he's like, Faith is just, she's so foreign and doesn't understand English and the way that we talk and our culture over here. She thought that I was spending the night like a sleepover. I mean, that's her fault for not getting it. And it's the same thing here. He's just such a rat. I cannot stand this dude.
How on earth did she catch me talking to the girl who's like on the other side of the parking lot?
You just said catch me, so you know you're doing something wrong.
And this guy brings up a good point. I've literally never seen this dude. I know I've been watching just Loren's parts for the most part, but yeah, when you word it like she caught me, or I don't know how she caught me, that means you know deep down you were doing something wrong. So this guy just self-snitched. Also, I'm sorry, Loren, what is this fit with these yellow pants and these loafers? It's like the drip in the outfit here is perfectly mirroring just how ugly his personality is on the inside.
That's the definition of stupidity right there.
Yeah.
Knowing that something is up, is wrong, you know she's not going to like that, but you did it anyway.
Yeah, that's pretty much his whole playbook. I love that this dude is over here still ripping Loren to shreds. I'm expecting that to continue for the rest of this episode because it brings me so much joy to see somebody speak to him the way that he deserves to be spoken to, instead of his friend over here who is just enabling every single negative thing about this guy and makes him think that he's living his life just fine and isn't doing anything wrong. It's like everybody else can understand how much of a D-bag you are. Why don't you realize that about yourself?
In order to not be rude, I was still showing her the like, yeah, thanks for talking to me, but I'm not interested.
And yeah, he's really running with this whole idea that simply he was flirting back in order to be nice, when in reality we know that this dude is trying to get with anything he can get his hands on. He truly is just a deviant, which is why he went and caught this disease before meeting Faith. I mean, put 2 and 2 together here, Faith, and you're still trying to make it work with this guy according to the last episode. Like, that's crazy to me. Please wake up.
He's full of
I mean, you just don't like him, so I mean, you're just gonna be like, oh, full of.
You just don't like him, so you're just bullying him. It's like, yeah, we don't like him, but we can also disagree with him. And that's probably why they don't like him, because this dude's out here lying and you're defending his dumbass the whole time. I don't even know why Esther, the friend, is on this show, because clearly she's not adding anything. She is not even able to admit that he's done one wrong thing. Or if she does, it's always like a half truth. Like, well, he had good intentions. Like, no, maybe he's just a jerk and is really selfish and trying to not be homeless. Why can't you see that? Like all of us do.
Let me just stop you right there. You're making yourself look worse when you say that.
Am I? No, like.
Guess what? Everyone else here listened to him. We're all saying the same thing.
That's right, dude. If everybody else here sitting on the couch, even if I'm not showing them, they're all agreeing. Okay, they're all piping up saying, yeah, Loren did this, Loren did that. He's in the wrong, except for maybe one lady in the last episode. It's one of those situations where if you're walking around and everything smells like dog shit, maybe check the bottom of your shoe or whatever the age-old adage is. It's like you are in your little bubble here with your friend Esther and all your other enablers, and until you leave that, you're not going to realize that you are the one in the wrong here.
So, Esther, who do you think is attacking Loren?
I'm friendly, I'm peace.
And Esther is now calling out shots like, okay, this whole section, they hate my friend Loren for no reason, and I don't understand why. It's like, okay, so the section you just pointed to are just normal adults that see that he's been acting wrong and are trying to hold him accountable. Got it.
Have you even said anything nice? You wouldn't even shake his hand. How rude is that?
Okay, well, if I'm being honest, I think this guy didn't shake Loren's hand for other reasons. I've seen just glimpses of this dude, and he is absolutely just bat crazy. In fact, that whole arc with him and his girl over there that's wearing the headpiece, I don't even want to get into it because it would just start battles in the comments, but this dude is so old school and so territorial and scary with her that I'm sure he has thoughts about Loren and his lifestyle and people like him that are just not okay, and that's why he didn't even have the respect to shake his hand. But that's neither here nor there. We're focusing on the main loser here, Loren.
I know why? Because she's looking for a man, and this not all working again.
But I am a man.
No, you're not.
And now he's saying in a very broken English that Loren is not a man, which I don't know why you're stripping him of his manhood. I think men are actually the main ones who act like this. So if anything, he's acting just like men usually do. Thinking for himself, being incredibly selfish, and just throwing away the emotions of the other party in his relationship. He doesn't care about Faith, how much she cries. He just wants to get out of America. So he thinks every time she cries that he needs to be there to make her feel better so that she will stick around and be delusional enough to marry this dude.
That
This
you're
is not
close-minded.
close-minded. This is that's what he's doing. I don't have the brain power to do the mental gymnastics this man does.
Yes, that's a great way to put it. Mental gymnastics. This dude is seriously trying to just restructure reality every time he speaks. Talking about Loren, of course. He's always in the wrong, and he finds a way to flip it or blame something else or blame his past, whatever it might be. It's like, dude, you need to hold yourself accountable, and that's how you're going to get out of homelessness, out of being lonely. All this bad stuff in your life is happening because you won't admit to the fact that you are a piece of shit right now, and you can fix that. Nobody needs to stay a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? I believe in you, Loren, although you are like in your mid-30s, maybe close to 40, so you might not figure it out at this point, but you really need to, because your life will improve immensely once you take accountability on that.
I've told you I'm sorry before, right, Faith?
He always sorry, but the love story ends hurt.
And Faith is like, yeah, he always apologizes, but he basically keeps hurting me afterwards. Like, okay, then that's not an apology. Or it was, but it's not from somebody who's sincerely apologetic. If somebody's sorry, they try to fix their behavior. They don't repeat it and just allow the apology to force you into continuing to endure them, you know, making you feel bad. It's like, that's crazy. That's called a cycle of abuse. And these two are just straight up trauma bonded. I know I'm sounding like total TikTok therapy speech right now, but it's a real thing. And that's why Faith is just so worried to not give this a chance. Because again, we got to remember, this is Faith's first serious relationship, and it's a lot to lose, even though, you know, we all look at Loren and it's like, why the f would you still give that a chance?
I don't know why I'm emotional.
Hey, stop crying like you're losing the diamond or you're losing $10 million.
This dude's screaming like you're literally losing like a couple cents, not even close to $10 million, okay? So please buck up and stop crying, because I admit Faith does cry quite often, especially when it comes to Loren. Like, I understand these are your emotions in play, but geez, like this dude said, you are not losing out on a precious diamond or something like that. Like, you will find love again, and the next person you find love with is gonna be better in just about every department than Loren, okay? There's only up from here. You're at the bottom of the barrel in terms of love and finding love.
Loren, have you and Faith, now that you're back together, talked about how you could legally get married?
So the interviewer changes the subject and is like, okay, since you two are still trying this out, I know you're just dating now, you're not even engaged again, but have you given more thought to the wedding thing? To which he has a very interesting answer that he is now revealing to Faith live on air, showing that they clearly haven't spoken about this at all in the past couple months, that they've been trying to, you know, salvage this relationship.
It's now legal in Taipei and Thailand to get married to Faith. If we go there and get married, I can get a K3.
Oh, man. So it sounds like he's been doing his research, and now it is legal in these other places that they're wanting to go to. Specifically, I think he said Thailand, which, wouldn't you know it, he actually booked a vacation for them. Again, I have no idea how this nearly homeless man in America, who supposedly can't pay his bills, is able to book a vacation like this. But if you're kind of confused right now, because maybe I'm not explaining it properly, he had her agree to this, quote, friendly vacation that they were just going to go and see the sights, and Faith is finding out live on air that he's planning to proposition her to get married while they're there, even though, again, they're barely back together. Like, she said yes, but it's clearly not still engagement. They're just trying to iron things out and fall back in love with each other at this point. So that's how desperate he is, that he's willing to hide that from her. And it wasn't until the host, thank God she asked about this, brought it up on the show, because otherwise Faith would have been blindsided by herself in a foreign country with this absolute creep who is like, marry me or I won't buy your plane ticket back home. Like, maybe he wouldn't say it like that, but I wouldn't put it past a creep like this, okay? Loren is a piece of and he absolutely would abandon her if she said no again to the marriage, because once he realizes this is not his ticket out of America and homelessness, he's gone mentally, emotionally, all of it.
Faith does not consider you her fiance.
Let's just make a choice by the time we go there.
And even the host is like, dude, you're no longer engaged. Like, yeah, she said yes, but then you broke up. Now you're trying things again. You got to repropose. You got to talk about marriage again. You can't just spring this on Faith and be like, oh, yeah, by the way, this awesome vacation that I paid for, you should probably pay me back by, I don't know, marrying me. You kind of owe me. Like, that is so creepy on so many levels. I'm sure everybody understands just how messed up that is. And if you don't, reevaluate the way that you think about relationships, please.
Why would she go there if she's not sure?
It's a full paid vacation.
Dude, this guy is giving Dennis from Always Sunny. He literally just said, in other words, it's because of the implication. Like, that is fucking mental, dude. Oh my God, that is one of the creepiest things I've ever seen somebody admit on this show. And you got homie over here who's been tearing him a new one, just looking around like, is anybody else hearing how absolutely creepy and forceful that sounds? What the hell? Like, this is trafficking, I think, or attempted trafficking.
She doesn't have to sleep with me or be with me. I'll just take her just because she deserves it, right?
Yeah, she deserves it. I mean, I'm just being a nice guy. But again, if she doesn't want to marry me or do those other things, I might abandon her in Thailand and she's going to have to get her ass back to the Philippines herself. Like, everything under what this dude's saying right now has such dark undertones, yet he's trying to gaslight us with his speech and the way that his tone of his voice is. And he's up being all positive. Like, she's beautiful. She deserves a good vacation, right? And, you know, maybe she'll want to get married. Maybe she won't. Maybe she wants to get back in one piece to the Philippines, and maybe she wants to be found in a gutter, chopped to bits. It's not up to me. Like, seriously, lock this dude up, please. I'm getting terrified.
She's talking to me. We're going to Thailand to have vacation.
Like, I'm not going to force her to get
about it?
married. Yes, I talked about marriage.
It
But
seems like she doesn't know about it, though.
And Faith here admits, yeah, I just heard it was a vacation. I didn't know about any of this. And you can see the disgust on Faith's face here because, yeah, that is a big bombshell to be dropped in the middle of this show and would really make me reconsider things. But again, I think Faith is so brainwashed that there's nothing that could make her reconsider this.
I think we are very comfortable with a friendship.
you just had to tell me that because I know you've been weird for a long time. Why didn't you just tell me this whole time?
So she looks bummed. It sounds like Faith's being brought to tears once again by Loren, which we've lost count of that. Okay, it's been hundreds of times this season that this motherfucker has made Faith cry, and I'm sick of seeing it.
So, Faith, are you ending this relationship now?
I don't think so if this makes realistic at all.
Yeah, that's really not realistic. Like, this dude really thinks that there's gonna be a way that he's gonna marry Faith at this point. You need to move on. Again, we already found last episode that he just decided on Faith because he realized the Philippines might work out. It's not even the person. He just needs somebody to agree to be miserable and be married to him while he goes out and cheats so that he can escape homelessness. Both of these people need to call it quits, please.
Why didn't you just tell me this whole time?
Because I told you every day that I headache because I'm stressed out.
And now Loren has the balls to make Faith feel bad. Like, why didn't you just tell me the truth? It's like, no, clearly you can't accept the truth. That's why. Faith knows deep down if she denies you, you're going to find a way to keep weaseling your way back into the relationship and trying to force your way into getting married like an absolute creepazoid. So the host presses Faith for an answer here, which I think we should give a concrete answer. But this literally, quite literally, sends Faith into a panic attack, just spiraling out, crying. They have to go to break. In fact, they wait for the next episode. They leave it on a cliffhanger. Let's hear what the answer is from Faith on whether or not they're going to end up getting married in Thailand.
It's a no.
Wow.
It's a no. It's a no.
It's a no. Okay, there we go.
And sounds like it's a no, thankfully. So we finally drawn the line. Faith says we need to just be friends, but I don't even think you should give that to Loren. This is somebody who seriously does not care about you as a person. Don't even be friends with him after this show. Seriously, block him. Cut all communication, please. For your sake and for his, you both need to move on from this mess. So they have to literally leave Faith because she could not bring it back together on the show here, having, again, an emotional attack going on, just crying, sobbing, snot coming out of the nose, the whole 9 yards. So, yeah, that's the end of the episode, except we hear a little bit of a tidbit as everybody's packing up their stuff, yet you'd think he's over it. No, the Lorenator strikes again. I shouldn't even give him a cool nickname like that because that makes him sound like a superhero. He's a supervillain, okay? Listen to what this man says.
She was kind of unclear. Like, yes, we're broken up, but things can also change over time.
You never know, things can change. I'm just gonna wait around in the shadows and wait for her to change her mind so that I can gaslight her again into falling in love with me and she'll let me marry her. Like, this guy will not quit. Seriously, Faith, you need a restraining order. And with that, that is the end of Loren and Faith's story for good, hopefully, because if they do another season of this shit, I'm not gonna be able to take that mentally. Let me know what you thought down in the comments below. As always, I appreciate you watching to the very end of the video, and until next time, peace out.